Students, the story is over. Some part of the grammar I explained in between here and there, telling verbal phrases. They are not verbs, they are verbal phrases. Now a little bit of grammar from the exercise. Not complete one, still something that is very important to write a better language. Using the tenses how it is. We know the tenses. You would have got the videos by your class, subject teacher, and you are learning tenses from standard 4 onwards slowly. Parts of speech, joining it together, add auxiliary verb, joining with the main verb forms, creating tenses. But how to use is more important. Knowing the knowledge, I am getting a lot of data is not important. For example, sometimes an accident occurs and you are not doing the first aid. Somebody comes and asks, doesn't you know that something happens, you have to do like this? Your teacher didn't teach you? I taught. Then why didn't you do? I didn't. I forgot. This is the way you say. Why? We are not applying it in the life. Same way, tenses, if somebody asks, you know it. Change the tense, you know it. She says, change the tense. You will say, which tense, sir? Simple past. You will give the answer, she said. Answer is over. That you know. But where to use these tenses properly in a paragraph, in a story, in a description is what I am going to say about just one tense. I am just giving the example. A man got on the train and sat down. The compartment was empty except for one lady. She took her gloves off. A few hours later, the police arrested the man. They held him for 24 hours and then freed him. Everything which is underlined is in simple past tense. It looks boring. Which one took place first? What had happened? Which is a real incident occurred first and later? No clarity. But is it not past? Yes. Tense-wise, grammatically, is it right? Yes. But does it give the beauty of language? No. Can you understand the point of grammar? Everything is grammatically correct. Simple past tense, everything is in the past, no doubt. But which incident took place first and which event took place later, and when it happens, that clarity is not there. She said, police came, arrested, took him, held him, freed him. So many things. But everything is in simple past. How do we overcome and make the language better? This is what I am trying to explain using past perfect tense and simple past tense. Mind you, two tenses, very carefully listen. Simple past tense and past perfect tense. Can you repeat in your mind? Simple past tense, past perfect tense. In the simple past tense speciality, we don't use any auxiliary verb. Whereas in past perfect, we always use an auxiliary verb, had. Verb form, in simple past we use verb to. That is a past form. Whereas here we use past participle. But again a confusion is there. Sometimes past tense, past form as well as the past participle form of the verb may be same. For example, jump. What is the past form? Jumped. Past participle, jumped. But whereas another verb if I am taking, you can find the difference. Speak. What is the past form? Spoke. Past participle, spoken. You find the difference. But whereas many of the verbs, you will not find the difference. Can you understand that point? Remember these points before getting into this particular section. Okay? Once again I am telling, simple past tense and past perfect tense. In that, verb form, simple past tense, it is verb form to. That is past form of the verb. Whereas in past perfect tense, the verb form is, we call it as V3 in short, it is actually past perfect or past participle, not past perfect, past participle form of the verb. But it might be the same for many of the verbs. Examples I gave. Cut. All the forms are same. Cut, 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 cutting. Jump, jumped, jumped, jumping. Like that, many verbs are repeatedly going for past as well as past participle. But understand, wherever auxiliary verb is there, it is past participle. Now you understood the tense. Now how to use it? Using, whenever we have so many events in the past, we have so many events. Let us imagine 2 at least. What had happened first must be explained using past perfect tense. Do not use simple past there. And what had happened later, very near to your time, it must be explained in simple past. 2 incident, the earlier one must be past perfect and the later one must be simple past. If we use that, the language becomes better. Grammatically and the flow, the beauty of the language comes there. This is what is the purpose of grammar. Otherwise, anybody can use a paragraph like this, such a boring one. You can see this. You can read again for you. Should I read? Or you can read it. You see it. I underlined it. Now, coming. The wind had lifted almost every way. Both fire and water had taken their toll in the dusk. You see, had lifted, had taken. They are in which tense? Which tense? Good. It is past perfect tense. Now coming. The author found and bought the dusk. Both fire and water had taken their toil. You see the sentence? The author found, simple past. But even before he was finding, what had happened? Both fire and water had taken their toll. Fire and water has done whatever it has to be done on the table earlier, even before he found the table. Very clear it is. Did it spoil after he bought it? Or did it spoil before he purchased it? It is so clear with the tense. Here he is finding a table or desk which had already been spoiled by fire and water. See, very clear. So what had happened first? Fire and water has played a game on the table and the table is spoiled, the vinegar is lifted up and author found that there. Simple past come closer to your time. Past perfect is still earlier. One more slide. If there are 2 events in the past, we use the had form for the event that occurred first in the past. Whatever I explained, I written as a sentence. Second, also to show. Sometimes past perfect is also used to show something was expected before a particular time in the past. You expect something. You have been expecting so many days, so many years, which would have become a true thing or which wouldn't have become. Usually is the negative part. It didn't become the part or didn't happen, but you always wished it. So you wanted to show that I always wished like that. To say that, we can use I always wanted one. I always wanted one car. I always wanted to have one house. See? I had always wanted to have a car. That means in the past I was keep on waiting, I will have a car, I will have a car. It didn't happen. Now I have it. So beautifully it is giving that in the past I was like this. Simply using a past tense will not give this sense. That is why you must know where to use this tense. So whenever a wish which was not completed in the past, you wanted to express some word, we use I had always wanted one. Remaining is the object or whatever it is. Now, the difference in meaning in the sentence is shown by using this. Earlier sentence, do you remember? Everything was in simple past tense. Will not work. Now you can find the difference in meaning. When I reached the station, the train left. When I reached the station, the train had left. This sentence you see the difference in meaning. First sentence, when I reached the station, the train left. Both are in simple past. Sense is less. But when I reached at the station, the train had left. By the time I reached, the train had already gone. So first what happened? I reached there or the train went? You know that train went already. I reached later. So what is the first event? The train had left. What is second event? I reached the station. So in this, which sentence is more sensible? Second one. When I reached the station, the train had left. So use the past perfect tense in the right way so as to make your paragraph explanations beautiful and sensible. Is that clear? That's all in the grammar part of this lesson.